Okay, so in part B of FAQ number 5, it asks at time equal to 3 hours, is Chloe's speed increasing or decreasing? So again, remember going back to part A and the piecewise function that described Chloe's speed, it broke it up into 2-hour intervals. 0 to 2 was one function, 2 to 4 was another function. So we're looking at a time equal to 3, so the function for Chloe is now this one. I believe it's 12 minus 3t minus t squared. That's her function now. Now if you look at her speed, we can do one thing. We can actually plug in the value of 3 into t and see, do I get a positive or a negative number? Okay, so basically at t equal to 3 is c of 3 less than 0? That's one justification. But that doesn't tell me if her speed is increasing or decreasing. It basically tells me if her speed is going either in a negative or positive direction, actually. So if she had a negative speed value, it could mean she's going backward. So it doesn't really tell me if she's increasing or decreasing. So what do I have to do? I have to find out if the rate of change of her speed is increasing or decreasing. And remember, rate of change means taking a derivative. So I have to do c prime of t. So if I do c prime of t, this is just a simple quadratic here. This goes to 0, I get negative 3, and I get minus 2t here. Now I evaluate it at what? At t equal to 3. So is c prime of 3 less than 0? And that's what you have to show. That's it. If it's less than 0, then that means her speed is decreasing. And here is your justification right there. Okay, so that's part B. Now, go ahead and erase this part. Sorry for the pause, just had to get some wipes to wash the board off. Now we look at part D. So part D now asks if there is any time between 0 and 4 at which Brandon's speed is, or Brandon's acceleration, I should say, is equal to 2.5 miles per hour per hour. So justify that. So if we look at Brandon's speed, there is a table for Brandon's speed now, okay? And the very first part of the table starts off at 0 and it goes to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Jeez, what's going on here? That's for time. And then I believe his speed was 1, 4, 1.5, negative 8, and then 11. So if I want to figure out if his speed at any time was, or sorry, his acceleration was 2.5 miles per hour squared, so I'm looking for this. Does that hold true? Then really, looking at a table, I don't have a function here. I don't need to take a derivative of anything. I need to take a look at the lowest endpoint and the highest endpoint and do a rate of change there. So b prime of t will just equal to, now I should probably rewrite this. This is time equal to here. This is b of t here. This is his speed at the bottom right here. Okay? So if I look at this, then I'm just looking at a rate of change of b at 4 minus b at 0 all over 4 minus 0. Does that give me 2.5 miles per hour squared? That's all I have to prove. This is called the mean value theorem. When you come with a problem like this, you're going to come with it probably quite often. Mean value theorem means that. Mean is another word for average, right guys? So I'm going to take the highest endpoint minus the lowest endpoint, okay, and find this basically the average slope of that, and that's it. That's what the mean value theorem basically is. So when you see this happening here, and they're asking you for is the rate of change averaged out to this, they may not say the word average, but you know you have to use that, okay? That's part C. Alright, so now let's go on to part D. Part D is using something called the intermediate value theorem. So now they're asking in this question, is there a time at which Chloe's speed and Brandon's speed are equal to each other? Between 0 and 2. Okay? So 0. Sorry guys. Is Brandon's speed b of t equal to c of t? Question mark. So how do we develop an equation to prove that, right? Or an equation setup? If I were to subtract c of t over here, I would have b of t minus c of t equal to 0. Because if these two were equal, right, equal numbers, if I subtract those two, they should equal 0, right? And that's the main thing. So let's take a look at two scenarios. We have one at 0 and one at 2. So b of 0 minus c of 0, is that equal to, less than, or greater than 0? Question mark. Then b of 2 minus c of 2, is that equal to, less than, or greater than 0? Question mark. Okay, so looking at that, what you'll find, what you'll actually find here is that you will get at 0, here at this one, you will get this to be greater than 0. And then you will get this to be less than 0. So that means the justification is the intermediate value theorem, okay, states there must be some time, some t, that b of t equals c of t. Why? Because of this. Okay? These are my two endpoints, right? My two t points were 0 and t, so that's my interval. So when I evaluated at 0, I had it greater than 0. But when I evaluated at 2, I have it less than 0 for the subtraction of both. So somewhere in between, there has to be a value that they equal to each other. When you have this. Now if both of these inequalities were facing the same direction, then you wouldn't get that. And if it was the other way around, like say this was less than, then you also wouldn't get that either. They have to be greater than or equal to, greater than or less than on flipping for both. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys out. See what those values are. If you want to resubmit some of that work in, go ahead. I want to see what you guys have learned from that. Again, look up IVT Okay, IVT is intermediate value theorem. I'll write this down here. Intermediate value theorem. Okay, hope that helps you out, guys. Remember, next Tuesday, the grades have been extended. Turning in work by next Tuesday on the 21st. Please turn in your work. Okay, I'm going to choose the work that I'm going to grade for this 6 weeks to help hopefully stabilize your average, make sure everything looks good. Remember, I care more that you're learning, okay? And the most part, you're asking questions and you're looking at the videos for help. I will post up the rubric to FRQ number 5 later on today. I just want you guys to work on this first, because looking at the rubric, it won't give you everything on the solution. It just basically gives you a few steps and that's it. So you have to work through that. So please use my videos and other videos that you can look up to help you guys out. All right, have a good day, guys.